it up right now. Stream. This is a stream audio check. Stream audio check. Check. Checking audio on the stream. Checking audio on the stream. This sounds good here. It looks like the good level that we've been having it at. So I will keep talking just a little bit here. It's anywhere from usually from 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes behind on the stream. So checking audio on the stream at Tasker Arena.
Dawn, do you know how much about Rio Rancho?
I'm making some notes right here. Yeah. Okay, Max, just let me know when the stream catches up, when you can hear us, okay? All right. Anything yet, Max? Okay.
It was running pretty far behind.
It was?
I had Kaysen up here checking it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. It is apparently running pretty far behind, so maybe it's usually not more than about 2.5 minutes, but it might be even further today. Just kind of depends. So it does. It sounds good. Awesome. Okay. Great. Okay. And give us about in about a minute start the intro, okay? In about a minute from now, okay? All right, thank you, Max. And then just give me a countdown when it hits about 15 seconds on the. Just let me know. Okay. Welcome to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan, along with Patrick Alexander, who is running camera and score bug, and welcome in, Patrick.
Thank you, Dawn.
Yep, and you have a helper up here with you as well.
I do. My son Kaysen's here to help.
All right, great. Well, we are here to watch the number 1 ranked Hobbs Lady Eagles, the number 1 ranked 5A team in the state, girls team in the state, against the 16th seeded Rio Rancho girls. Now, it may seem like a game tipped completely toward the Lady Eagles, and they are, of course, ranked number 1 for a reason in the state. They have lost only 3 games this season, 2 Texas teams and then Carlsbad, but after losing to Carlsbad once, they came back and they beat them twice. So the Hobbs girls come in at 24-3 and with only 1 loss in the district, and they are ranked number 1 in 5A. The Rio Rancho girls have a 14-15 season, and they finished at 4-4 in their district, which is District 1 5A, and they're ranked 16th in 5A. But here's the deal. That's a very strong district that they're in, and the NMAA took 3 teams out of that district, and it just happens that Rio Rancho was the team that got seeded the lowest of those 3 teams. The top-ranked team in that district is Volcano Vista. The second team in District 1 5A is Cleveland, and then the third team in that district is Rio Rancho. So they're probably stronger in person than they are on paper. But having said that, if the Hobbs Lady Eagles come in and play their game, which is press, 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 smothering defense, quick offense, stealing the ball, forcing turnovers, and getting your big girls in the lane and inside, and those being Kendall Cunningham and Jayla David, and then the quickness and speed, and also Brett Clay, and then the quickness and speed of Nakaya Mojica, Bryn Hargrove. Again, you know, the 5 starters are just an awesome team, and they've got great players off the bench in Zepeda, Armitage, Bosquez, Bolton, Muniz. I mean, they're all, it's just a really strong team and a young team for Hobbs this year. But they can't take this for granted tonight. They've got to come in and do what they do the best and get their perimeter shooting as well. They have some of the best three-point shooters in the business. The last game that we were here last Friday night, it was a beatdown of Clovis, 77-35, to earn the right to be here tonight to play Rio Rancho. And we had several three-pointers in that game from Brett Clay, from Mojica, from Hargrove, from Cunningham. I mean, it's just amazing. They can put on a three-point show from the perimeter, and they're going to need all facets of the game tonight, and they're going to need them good. The inside game, the outside game, the press, and then the defense, you know, that they have to just hopefully deny Rio Rancho's any second and third looks at the basket. And I think that's how they're going to beat Rio Rancho tonight, Patrick.
Well, I agree that the pressure themselves that Hobbs puts on teams puts them in bad situations. But what Hobbs does really well, and I think a lot of people miss this part, is they move the ball well when they're pushing, and they're really quick. They can really get down the court,
right.
and then a nice kick out to hit those 3 balls
Exactly.
because it sets girls up.
Yeah, they do. They move the ball well, all of them. I mean, you know, a lot of times it'll be Mojica running the point, or it might be it might be Hargrove running the point, and they have several girls who can do that well. Move the ball. Those crisp, sharp, short passes are really good. They move it, and so they can get positioned either for a good perimeter shot or an inside shot. Pass it in, and she's got a wicked little spin move in the lane. That's Brett Clay. Cunningham has great muscle, but great presence for a tall girl. She's really quick. And then you've got Jayla David, again, great presence. You've got Nakaya Mojica, who's just, we've watched her just improve, and she was already good at the beginning of the season, right? Bryn Hargrove the same way, and they just have just a really awesome team, and they're going to just hopefully really put on the show tonight. They need to take care of business and get out there and get it started, get the game well in hand. When they get out there and they dominate somebody like they did, they didn't even give Clovis a chance last week. Right. You know, they got out there, they got ahead, they stayed ahead, and they just stretched it out. So people might be expecting that against a number 1 against a number 16 is going to be a blowout. It could be.
This is playoff basketball,
exactly.
Dawn.
Anything can happen.
One game, and you have a bad one. It's the wrong one to have.
And this is the one-and-done game tonight. You've got to win this. This is a do-or-die, must-win to move on. And if the Hobbs girls win tonight, they will move on next week to the quarterfinals of the state tournament, and they would play the winner of the Sandia Albuquerque High game, which is happening. So that's who they would face if they win tonight, and they would play on Tuesday afternoon at 4:45 at the Pit. So that's what we're looking at, but they've got to win this tonight and not think too much about next week, except for the motivation. They want to get there, they want to be in the state tournament, and then they want to win the state tournament. But
well, you're talking about a team that's been to the state championship. So these girls are experienced.
Oh, yeah.
And when you look at Rio Rancho, you know, they've made the playoffs a couple of times, but when you talk about deep runs, this youth of Hobbs has made a lot of games already.
They have already. That's because, Coach spots talent early, and he moves them up. He gets some significant minutes in JV, and then as soon as he thinks they're ready, he gets them right into varsity. So they are a young team. Only 2 seniors on this Hobbs team. They're losing Wisdom Anthony, and they're losing Desiree Vasquez. But the rest of these girls, they move. They stay healthy. They move on, and we see them next year. They're already, as you said, they're poised, and they know what it's like to play at the Pit in Albuquerque, most of these girls, and that's where they want to return next week. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back, run down the rosters, talk about the starters, and get this one underway. We'll be back in just about probably, we'll give the teams time as they're going to be going into the national anthem, the school song, and the introduction of players. So we'll be back in probably about 4.5 minutes here for this one, Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball against Rio Rancho. This is your play-in game to the quarterfinals of the state championship, and you're listening on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Hobbs Eagle 100.5 radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with Patrick Alexander, and we're just about to get this one underway. Hobbs girls are in the locker room. We have just a few seconds left on the pregame clock, expecting them out for the national anthem, the school song, and the introduction of players. So really quickly, let me just run down your Rio Rancho players if I have time. They're under head coach Lori Mabry. Number 1 is Alyssa Vigil, a 5'6 junior. 5 is 5'6 junior Dakota Brott. 10 is 5'4 senior Abigail Armijo. 11 is 5'6 senior Tamira Smith. Number 12 is 5'4 sophomore Ariana Bustillos. Number 13 is 5'10 senior Kaylee Anderson. Number 21 is 5'8 junior Naomi Francis Bowe. Number 23 is 5'6 sophomore Jamie Archuleta. 24, 5'8 junior McKenna Lee. 30, 5'6 8th grader Deja Jack. 31, 5'7 senior Violet Francisco. 35, 6' senior Julia Espinosa. And 44, 6' 8th grader Gemma Estrada. And then 45 is 5'5 senior Falada Toledo. Your starters are going to be Armijo, Smith, Lee, Espinosa, and Estrada. That means Espinosa and Estrada, the two 6-foot girls, are starting for Rio Rancho. And for the Hobbs girls, well, we'll come back and tell you about them because we're just about to take a break and do the national anthem. As you can hear, Taskovich here and doing a good job to what looks to be a pretty packed gym. And we'll take a break for the national anthem and the school song and be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball from Tasker Arena right here. Welcome back to Tasker Arena. This is Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with Patrick Alexander here, ready for this play-in game. Do or die, must win to go on to the quarterfinals of the state tournament in Albuquerque next week. This is a game featuring your number 1 ranked Lady Eagles against your 16th seeded Rio Rancho girls. And I've given you the roster of Rio Rancho. Now let's quickly move down while the announcements and introductions are being made on the court. your Hobbs Lady Eagles under head coach Joey Carpenter. Number 4 is 5'4" freshman Madison Cepeda. Number 10 is senior Wisdom Anthony. Number 12 is 5'5" freshman Aliana Armitage. Number 14 is 5'9" sophomore Brett Clay. Number 15 is 5'6" Nakaya Mojica. She's a sophomore. Number 20 is 5'5" sophomore Bryn Hargrove. Number 22 is 5'11" sophomore Kendall Cunningham. 23 is 5'10" sophomore Jayla David. Number 24 is sophomore Carolina Size. Number 30 is senior Desiree Vasquez. Number 33 is 8th grader Kaislyn Manise, a 5'7". And number 34 is 6-foot sophomore Alana Bolton. And number 42 is 5'8" junior Tiana Richardson. Number 52 is freshman Kylie Cano. Your starters tonight will be Clay, Mojica, Hargrove, Cunningham, and David. The Hobbs girls are being introduced right now, and they're throwing out, looks like a combination of mini basketballs and T-shirts tonight. So a lot of lucky fans in the stands tonight rooting our Hobbs girls onto what we hope and we think is going to be victory tonight, Patrick.
Well, if they just take care of business, Don, this game will be over early. Sorry, I'll get it out in a minute.
Right.
And just they'll put it out of reach, and I expect that from Hobbs tonight. I don't expect a Carlsbad style game where they went to Carlsbad. I expect them to come out. They've been here before.
I think
just
so.
Take care of business.
And it'll be interesting to see if Rio Rancho comes out ready to try to run and gun and stay up with them, or if they come out and really, try to play a more zone control ball game. So, it doesn't work really well against the Hobbs Lady Eagles. They usually break that kind of game and force the press, even if somebody tries it,
But, with Rio Rancho having two players at 6 foot on the court, they're going to try to slow it down.
You bet.
But
You bet.
Hobbs doesn't. They don't slow the game down.
Right.
They make you play to their style.
Hobbs has stumbled just a little bit and come out a little slow against a couple of teams this year that had height and kept them out of the paint when Hobbs' perimeter game was not firing very well. I'm talking really about that only loss to Carlsbad. But Hobbs really fixed that the next 2 games against him, took care of business. So we're getting ready to get this one underway here at Tasca Arena. Hobbs coming off of that win last Friday in Clovis. They have not played any games since then. Let's see if they're fresh and ready. Jayla David is in the center, ready to go up for the tip. Let's get this one underway. Uh-oh.
We got a mini basketball player running across.
That's right. We have one of the girls' little dribblers. Not quite cleared the court, so they waited for her. And now here comes the ball. It's up, tipped. It's controlled by Hobbs. They get it to Bryn Hargrove. She gets in the lane. Ooh, puts it up. No good. Jayla David grabs her first rebound. And then Nakaya Mojica puts it up. No good. And then the rebound is controlled by Rio Rancho. So already, just Hobbs not firing, but they came out really quick and ready. So 1 rebound so far. And yes, just kind of like we talked about, Rio Rancho trying to slow it down, but Mojica popped the ball out, took it, brought it down, and up and in. That's the danger. A team trying to slow the ball down against Hobbs, they will simply force the turnover and grab the ball and take it. Mojica put Hobbs on the map 2-0.
They're too quick to do that too.
Rio Rancho coming down across the timeline, working it over on the left wing. They're wearing black jerseys with black numbers and little white pinstripes. A little difficult to see the Rio Rancho numbers. So my apologies. And up and no good, Kendall Cunningham with her first rebound. She brings it down, top of the arc, leaves it off for Hargrove. Hargrove works it over to the right outside the arc, leaves it off for Clay. Clay's going to drift back mid-court on the right side. And pretty tight defense by Rio Rancho. Gives it off to Bryn Hargrove in the left corner, and Hargrove pops a 3. First tray of the game, and it looks like Hobbs inside and outside game right now. Firing. They are leading 5-0. Backcourt still for Rio Rancho, but now coming across left side. Rio Rancho player working it over. A bounce pass right into the lane. A shot up, no good. A fight for the rebound. It's going to go out of bounds. It's last touch, though, by Rio Rancho. So it'll be Brett Clay who will inbound and get it into Hargrove. So,
good hustle play there by David.
And first turnover by Rio Rancho. That's Brett Clay with the ball. Works it in, spin move, like we talked about in the lane, but she bumped into a girl, or rather a girl bumped into her, and that's going to be a foul. So she drew the foul, but it's on the floor. She was not shooting yet. So Mojica will inbound, and they are going to call that against 24 McKenna Lee. First foul, first team foul against Rio Rancho. They inbound, get it to Bryn Hargrove out near midcourt. She gives it off to Mojica. Mojica travels. Some of the Hobbs faithful not liking that call, and that's the first turnover by Hobbs.
Really a close call there. Not sure. It could have gone either way.
It was not a real obvious travel, I'll say that. In the backcourt, Rio Rancho moves it up to the front. Getting worked on by Mojica. Mojica. There's a collision, but there was no foul called. It was incidental contact, and the ball is knocked away and goes out of bounds. Last touch by Rio Rancho. So Mojica inbounds to Clay. Clay works it down, leaves it off for Hargrove. Hargrove on the right wing, outside the arc to Cunningham. Cunningham stops, thinks about the 15-footer. Now gets it to Hargrove. Hargrove. She's pretty deadly. She works it in from the free throw line. She stops, pops, and no good. And the rebound by Rio Rancho. Oh, and bringing it down, trying to put it up, no good. Fight for the rebound. It's loose on the court. Kendall Cunningham picks it up, her second rebound of the game. Brings it down, turn around, gives it to Hargrove, back to Cunningham, and just outside the arc, she puts up a three-pointer. It doesn't go, and the rebound is stolen away by Mojica. She puts up a shot, won't fall. Hargrove with the rebound. She gives it to Clay. Clay pops it from outside the arc on the left side for three, and Hobbs is up 8-0. No score by Rio Rancho. They inbound across the timeline right side. Loses the handle on the ball and travels. So that's a turnover number 2 by Rio Rancho. And give the ball to Hobbs. 4:53 left to play in this first quarter here at Tasker Arena. The Lady Eagles are ahead 8-0. And they are definitely in control of this one early on. Clay inbounds to Hargrove, gets it back. She's going to cross the timeline, center court. Move to the left. Loose pressure on her. Passes it to Jayla David. Jayla presses, gets in the lane, takes it in herself, and jumps and drops it in the net. And that's 2 points for Jayla David, and Rio Rancho wants and needs a timeout. So it's just a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here and just remind you that the Hobbs Lady Eagles are up 10-0 in this first quarter. We've played almost half of the first quarter, and they have managed to keep Rio Rancho scoreless so far, Patrick.
Well, just what we talked about before the game. Keep the pressure up, high pressure, high intensity, and then score.
Yeah.
And Hobbs can do that from anywhere on the court, so
Sure.
they're doing that.
They have missed a couple of shots. It's not a perfect game, but they have made the shots that have counted, and they've managed to, pop 2 threes in the process. Brett Clay's got a tray. Hargrove's got a tray. Mojica with 2 points. Jayla David with 2 points. And 4 rebounds for Hobbs so far. Now, Rio Rancho is rebounding. They're getting the ball, but they have not been able to make good on those shots. They, out of their timeout, they do inbound the ball at the Hobbs end of the court, still in the backcourt. Seconds are ticking. Finally, across the timeline. Passing it to the left, moving forward. That's number 10, I believe, Armijo. She kicks it out. Top of the arc, I believe that's 35. Works it around, gets in the lane, puts up a shot, no good. And Cunningham with her 3rd rebound brings it down, gives it off to, I believe, Vasquez. Oh, no, that's Hargrove. Hargrove puts up a shot, it won't fall, and Cunningham with a rebound again. Now, that was Hargrove taking the shot. Now, Hobbs is going to slow down the pace just a little bit, passing around the arc. Hargrove calling for some offense. Gives it, a sneaky one to Clay. Clay, everybody was worried about Cunningham, and Clay moved into the low post and put it up and in. That's 5 points for her. 12-0 your score, 3:35 left. And finally, Rio Rancho gets it across the timeline, and that is 44. Estrada getting double-teamed. Hargrove on one side, Jayla David on the other, and the ball goes out of bounds. It was kicked out by one of the Hobbs girls, so it'll stay Rio Rancho ball. And we have some bench players coming in. Armitage, Muniz, and Zepeda are coming in for Hobbs. And the starters, Mojica and Hargrove and David, getting a little bit of a break. Rio Rancho inbounds. They give it. Now V. Hill is in for Rio Rancho, not one of the starters. They're moving it around the outside of the arc. Good hustle and good defense by Zepeda. They get it in to the lane into Lee. She takes a shot, won't fall, but another rebound. And that one by Estrada. That's her second. Still a fight for the ball as because of the height, the Rio Rancho girls are getting offensive rebounds and getting looks, but they're not able to take care of the ball because Hobbs is forcing turnovers. That is turnover number 4. Give it to Zepeda. She runs the point, gets it to Armitage on the right side. She drives over to the left to Manise. Manise in good three-point territory. Gets it back to Zepeda. Zepeda drifts, working it around the arc. Armitage going to drive in, spin move in the lane. And now stops and puts it up and in. Armitage with 2 points makes it 14-0. Your Hobbs girls firmly in control here. Still no score by Rio Rancho. They've got it. They're bringing it down the other way. Lee has it near midcourt. And almost stolen away by Zepeda there. A dangerous little pass because Hobbs is there. Oh, and I think they'll call Zepeda for the push foul as it was hard to do that. She looked around. She was in place. She looked to her right, checking traffic. And by the time she looked back, she was running into Rio Rancho. Yeah. So Rio Rancho, it's on the floor. They do call it on Zepeda, her first, and that's the first team foul against Hobbs. Rio Rancho inbounds. They're going to pull back, work outside the arc. Now get it inside in the lane.
They're going to call a walk. Yes,
they are. She did, but she put it up and in, but she traveled before she put it up and in. And that player who just, I can't catch her number, but I
believe that's Estrada.
Gemma Estrada. So turnover number 5 for Rio Rancho. Hobbs has got it. They're passing around outside the arc. That is Brett Clay driving in. Gets it over to Manise. Manise going to drive across the baseline. And she gets fouled as she drives underneath the basket. And they're going to call that on Estrada, I believe. Yep, number 44, Estrada. That's her first foul, second team foul on Rio Rancho. And it's going to be on the floor, so Armitage will inbound just to the right of the Hobbs basket. Gets it into Manise on the right wing. She moves around, pulling back, gets it over to Zepeda, now to Armitage, and then gets it to Clay. Clay, spin move out just outside the blocks, turns, and no good, and Estrada with the rebound, her third. So Rio Rancho with the ball, 14-0 your score. Hobbs leading, 1:29 left to play in this first. A fast-moving first game as Rio Rancho trying to move it in, get it to Estrada, and it's taken away. Manise picks it up. A nice steal. She's going to take it coast to coast, and they're going to say she put it up, but the whistle sounded, and they're going to call the foul and say that it is on number 10, Armijo. That's her first foul, third team foul. But it is on the floor again, so Armitage will inbound just to the right of the Hobbs basket. So she gets it into Zepeda. Zepeda drives in, pulls back, now gives it to Clay. Clay drives in and then passes off to Manise. Manise from one of her sweet spots right outside the arc on the right side, drops a tray and makes it 17-0. Hobbs girls, a minute left to play in this first. Are they going to keep Rio Rancho scoreless? There was a pass, almost got out of hand near the scorer's table, and it almost got out of hand, but getting down there, trying to find her was Vasquez, and Vasquez draws the foul, the bump foul, as she pushed her out. First foul on Vasquez and second team foul on the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Rio Rancho passing it around the arc and almost taking it away is Vasquez. Got her hand on the ball.
Then gets fouled.
Yep, she got her hand on the ball. So it's a steal for Vasquez, and it's a turnover, and that's actually 7th turnover for Rio Rancho, and it gives the ball to Hobbs. So on the floor, Zepeda gets the ball. Armitage inbounds. Zepeda over to Manise. Manise trying to get Clay in the lane where she was probably just going to take it and put it right up into the basket from the left side, but gets fouled. And they'll call that on number 24, Lee, and that's her second foul. That is the 4th team foul on Rio Rancho. It is on the floor again. Zepeda will inbound just to the right of the basket, of Hobbs' basket. Again, 17-0 your score, almost the end of this first quarter. Inbounds to Armitage. Armitage almost loses it, corrals it midcourt, brings it back, gets it to Zepeda on the right wing. Zepeda works around, gets it to Armitage. Armitage again works to the left. Zepeda, and then over to almost the left corner to Manise. Manise now top of the arc and pulls the trigger on a three. It's an air ball, and picking up the rebound, her fourth, is Estrada. Estrada leaves it off. Rio Rancho crosses timeline. They pass it into Estrada. Estrada tries to put one up and in. It won't fall. Fight for the rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Hobbs basketball with just 6.5 seconds left in this first quarter, as Rio Rancho just fighting, trying to get the ball to put it up and try to get points on the board, and the Hobbs Lady Eagles just not letting them. So Armitage inbounds, gets it to Hargrove. Hargrove pulls up. Trying to play, pulls up, last shot, and it's short. So we go into the second. At the end of the first quarter, it is 17-0. Your Hobbs girls keeping Rio Rancho scoreless in the first quarter, and we'll be back with the second here. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more basketball action from Tasker Arena. And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan along with Patrick Alexander, and your first quarter is in the books on this do-or-die must-win to move on game. A play-in into the state tournament next week, and the Hobbs girls have Rio Rancho down 17-0, and we start the second quarter. Rio Rancho with the ball. They get it over to Vigil. Vigil into Estrada right underneath the basket, and finally really quick on that inbound pass. Hobbs gets the ball back, so Estrada puts them on the map. 17-2, Hobbs girls over Rio Rancho. Clay brings it down, gives it to Hargrove. Hargrove will bounce pass over to Mojica. Mojica into Cunningham in the lane. No room as Estrada's blocking her, but she turns around, puts it up anyway, then gets her own rebound. And Hobbs kicks it out, gets it to Clay. Clay drives in the lane. She puts up a shot. It's short, and Estrada grabs the rebound. But I think they tied the ball up. Nope, they're going to call the foul on Jayla David as David reached in. So a little foul on David, and it's on the floor. First foul on her, only the third team foul on Hobbs. And Rio Rancho will inbound. A sub coming in, I think 44, Estrada going out. The inbound. And get the ball down quickly. Mojica working on the Rio Rancho ball handler, and there's a shot up, no good. It's short, but right there underneath the basket. Up and not good, but the foul, I believe, was called. And that actually is 35, Espinosa. So I have actually written down Estrada with some of her rebounds, but Estrada does have 3 rebounds on her own. Rio Rancho gets the ball in, and there's a quick three-point attempt. It won't fall, but they do get the rebound. And I believe that is number 5, Broad. Pass it around, get it in the lane underneath the basket to Espinosa, but it's taken away. She tries it up and won't fall. Cunningham with the rebound, and then the number 11, Smith, is signaled for the foul. It's on the floor. That is the 5th team foul against Rio Rancho. And give it to Hobbs. Mojica inbounds, gets it to Clay. Back to Mojica. She'll run the point, cross the timeline on the right side. Getting worked on, but not real heavy defense. Passes it in the lane to Clay. Clay picks it back out to David. David puts up a shot, won't fall. And it bounces off of the rim, and Rio Rancho with the rebound. They're going to move it across the timeline. Against Hobbs, and it's tipped away by Hargrove, and Mojica picks it up, and then it's almost stolen away. It's blocked and sent out of bounds by Rio Rancho, So it will stay Hobbs basketball, but it does interrupt that offensive play as Hobbs was going to take it to the hoop. They inbound to Hargrove. Hargrove over to Clay. Clay to Mojica on the right wing. She's getting worked on. Pretty good pressure. Pulls back. Gets it to Cunningham in the right blocks. Cunningham, no room. The ball's popped up, but saved by Bryn Hargrove. She takes it in underneath the basket, tries a left hook. It won't fall, and Estrada with the rebound. Or actually, Espinosa with the rebound. And again, almost taken away. Kept, and then it is taken away. Bryn Hargrove's got it. Takes it all the way down, gets it to Mojica. Mojica tries to pop a three, it won't fall. Cunningham with the rebound. She puts the basket up and in and gets fouled. So she will go to the line and have a try at a three-pointer the old-fashioned way. And actually, that's 7. The 6. I've got them down as 6. But 35, they've got 35. That's the first foul on her, but the 16th foul on Rio Rancho. And Cunningham will go to the line. 3. She's got 7 rebounds in this game already. I've got Cunningham down for 7, and she does not make her free throw shot. There's a fight for the ball, and they're going to call a foul, and they're actually going to say that they're going to send Cunningham back to the line. Lane violation. I think that was over on 44, maybe on the left side in the left blocks. So Cunningham will go back to the line like that shot never happened, and she'll try to put this one up and in, and it rattles front, back, and down. So give her a point. She's got a point in the game now, makes it 20-2. Hobbs Lady Eagles, and the timeout is being taken. And let's see, it's just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. The score is 20-2. We are in the second quarter. And it's been all Hobbs all the way. Rio Rancho not making the 2 points until the second quarter was underway. Right after the second quarter started, they were able to get their 2 points on the board. It was Estrada who managed, or I think it was actually Espinosa. It was. Who actually had those points. And so Espinosa. But it's really Espinosa and Estrada have been except for handling the ball, running the point, they've been the girls in the lane, getting the rebounds and trying for the shots, but they have just not been able to make it. The ball has been it's been that smothering defense that we talked about. Hobbs is so good at their quickness. They forced takeaways. Even the second looks that Rio Rancho has had have not come out because they're just not able to handle the ball and keep the ball away from the Hobbs girls. They do inbound, driving all the way inside in the lane, putting up and in, I believe is Brought. I think is that number 5. So 2 points. So make it 20-4. Smith, actually, not Brought, number 11. Hobbs girls with the rebound. They bring it down, working around the arc, inside and out. Mojica's got it. Outside the arc, left side to Hargrove. Back to Mojica, top of the arc. Back to Hargrove, now into Jayla David. David leaves it off for Hargrove. Hargrove just stops and tries to pop a 3, won't fall. And that's going to be number 44, Estrada, with the rebound, and that is her 4th. She leaves it off. Rio Rancho trying to move it across the time lane. They do, finally, against a good defense by Hargrove. They kick it back out. Bounce pass is taken away. Kendall Cunningham with a steal. Looking for room. She finds Jayla David. David passes it off. Mojica's got it in left corner. Back to Clay. Cunningham now to David. David's going to work in, spin around in the lane, put it up. Oh, it goes around the rim, in and out. And Estrada with another rebound. Gives it off. And Rio Rancho works the ball around. On the right side, approaching that right wing. Now working into the right corner. And passes it off. I believe that's to Lee, and Lee puts it up and in. Lee, one of their taller players, manages to get in the lane without anybody guarding her, but the ball coming down the other way. Hobbs passing, and that was Hargrove trying to connect with Jayla David, and just goes out of David's hands, out of bounds. So it'll be a turnover by Hobbs. That's only their 3rd in the game, though, and Rio Rancho has 8. So Rio Rancho will inbound just to the right of the Hobbs basket. They get it into Estrada. Estrada is going to give it back. Finally working across the timeline on the right side as they're going to pass it off. Try to find somebody open. Oh, and they do. They get it to Estrada. She drives in the lane and tries to put up the ball. It's stripped away by Cunningham, her second steal. She gets it to Mojica. Mojica passes to David in the lane, runs out of court, gets it, passes back to Mojica. Mojica steps outside the arc and pops a 3, her first tray of the game, and makes it 23-6. 3:41 left to play in this second quarter, and Rio Rancho wants a timeout again. This time it is just a 30, I believe. And we'll just keep it right here. Remind you, it's 23-6. Hobbs Lady Eagles are in firmly control of this one, and I tell you what, we weren't sure what kind of game we were going to see, if we were going to see the domination right from the very beginning by the Hobbs Lady Eagles, or if we were going to see a little feeling out period of, okay, no hesitation at all. It's been the Hobbs Lady Eagles all the way.
All business. All business.
Yeah, completely. Just taking care of business.
That's it.
They just do it in a matter-of-fact way, because for them it is.
It is.
They're well coached, they're well conditioned. They've played as a team. These 5 starters particularly are like a well-oiled machine, but the bench girls come in and out, and there's seamless transitions. So great transitions down the court. Rio Rancho getting the ball in, trying to get it out of the backcourt, and now, and with the pass, it's stolen away by Clay. A nice steal. She passes it off. Muniz in the game, pulls up and sinks it. So 2 points for Caselin Muniz, 2 more points. She's got 5 in the game now. 25-6 your score. 3:17 left to play till the half. And give it to Rio Rancho. They got down, managed to get in the lane, and then a bounce pass went awry and taken away by Hobbs. Muniz with the steal. She brings it down, and stepping outside the arc, another 3. That's one of her sweet spots. She hit a tray earlier in the game from almost the same spot. Rio Rancho trying to pass the ball forward. It's stolen away before they can even get to midcourt. And Hobbs with the ball. Muniz holding, gets it off to Clay. Clay drives the lane, puts it up and in, won't fall. Cunningham with the rebound and the putback. And she's got 3 points in the game and about 1.5 million rebounds now. And the ball, again, threatened to take away, but it's going to stay Rio Rancho. Nope. Yep, it will stay Rio Rancho ball. Nope. It bounced off.
Mm-hmm.
So it bounced off the Rio Rancho player.
That's 5 points for Cunningham.
Cunningham is, yes, that's right, 3. She's got 2. She's got 1 from the line and then 2. So the Hobbs girls out of the turnover. Number 9 for Rio Rancho, number 10. Going to pass it around the arc. Muniz has got it. She gets it into Clay. Clay over to Mojica. Mojica pulls up trying for a 3. It won't fall, but it goes right in the hands of, I think, Vasquez. And then Mojica comes back and ends up taking it out of bounds, but she gets fouled in the process, and they're going to call that on number 1, V Hill. Yep, number 1, V Hill. And Cunningham and Mojica are going to go out of the game. And then we've got, I think, Muniz is in, Vasquez is in, Jayla David, Clay, and they've got, and Mojica's coming back in, they said. Okay. All right, so Mojica stays.
She's got to shoot, so.
That's right. She can't. She's got it. She's the one who got fouled. She's at the line, so she's got to stay in. So, and in the blocks for Hobbs, you've got, Clay and Muniz. And Mojica will go up. There's 7 fouls on Rio Rancho now, 17 fouls, and up and good. Mojica, she's got 6 points in the game now. And she'll get another try. 31-6 is your score. Hobbs Lady Eagles beating Rio Rancho. 2:15 left to play in the second quarter here. Mojica at the line. She made the first. Second one is up, and that one is good as well. Rattles home, and now she's got 7 points in the game. Makes it 32-6. Your Hobbs Lady Eagles in control of this one. Rio Rancho inbounding and still in the backcourt. Getting double teamed. Hobbs trying to trap him up. They get it to V Hill. She crosses the timeline. She passes it off. And I believe that is 24 Lee. And trying to pass it over to Estrada. It's taken away by Clay. Clay kicks it out to Muniz. And Muniz takes the 3 and makes it 3 3-pointers in the game for her. 35-6. Your Hobbs girls in control, even with the girls off the bench. Rio Rancho struggling just to hang on to the ball, just to pass it successfully without being taken away. And let's see, they're going to call a foul as number 44 just took the pass and was going up to the rack and got fouled on the wrist. That's Estrada, and they're going to call the foul on Hargrove, her first and just the 4th team foul against Hobbs in this first quarter. It was not a shooting foul on the floor, and so V-Hill will inbound for Rio Rancho, looking for someone. She connects in the backcourt. They move up to the front, bounce pass back over to the right side of V-Hill. V-Hill passes off to a player in the corner, drives into the lane, and puts up a shot, won't fall, and that is Clay with a rebound, her second. Clay just pulls out, then drives the lane again, puts it up, and that's the second time. She has a lot of spin on that ball when it leaves her hand, and it just rims in and out, but she drew the foul. She got fouled by number 24, that's Lee, and I've got that down as her 3rd foul. Yep, 3rd foul, and that is the 8th team foul on Rio Rancho, so it will put Clay at the line. Her first trip to the line. And it rattles home. And I've got her down for, that's her 6th point in the game.
That's correct.
She's got a couple of rebounds and 2 steals to go along with that for the Hobbs Lady Eagles as well. 1:17 left in the first. Second is eyes it, skies it, and it drops in as well. So makes it 37-6. Hobbs over Rio Rancho, and it'll be Rio Rancho inbounding from just to the left of the Hobbs basket. You've got Cepeda in the game for Hobbs and Moniz, who are in the backcourt guarding. And then further back toward midcourt, you've got Hargrove, and you've got Jayla David back guarding in the high post position. So Rio Rancho looking. They inbound to V-Hill. V-Hill looking, getting worked on by Cepeda, still in the backcourt. Now she moves across right side. Drives to the right in the corner. Passes it in. Bounce pass is stolen away by Cepeda. She misses it, but that's okay because Hargrove picks it up. Hargrove's going to go coast to coast and then get it over to Jayla David at the last second. David not ready for it and goes down, and there is an injury as Jayla David. It was a real quick pass, and she just had time to kind of touch the ball. She is on the court and in some pain as she came down funny. She really wasn't ready for the pass, and she had to stop and change positions, and she came down on her, what looked like her right foot, a little bit funny. So we have an injury timeout, and we're going to take it. We'll be back in 30 seconds with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball from Tasker Arena on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming at HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Tasker Arena. It's an injury timeout as we have Hobbs Lady Eagles standout Jayla David, a starter who is on the floor just underneath the Hobbs basket as the Hobbs girls were driving down off of a turnover, which, by the way, was turnover number 13 for Rio Rancho. But Hargrove had the ball, drove across the baseline, and just kicked it back to David, who was on just to the right of the basket underneath it. She wasn't quite ready for it. It was a really quick pass behind Hargrove, kind of a no-look pass, and she had time to just kind of flick it, kind of turned at an awkward angle and came down on her right leg. So she is walking off the court. We're so glad to see her up and walking it out, and you can hear the applause for her. She is a starter for Hobbs, and we don't want to see an injury take her out of the state tournament next week, because it definitely looks like Hobbs girls are going to be moving on. They're in firm control of this one, 37-6. They're going to walk Jayla David into the trainer's room, and hopefully that was just a little bit of maybe a little bit of a cramp and just an awkward play. So good to see that. Play resumes as Rio Rancho had the ball, and they will, Hobbs had the ball, but because of the ball, it was technically a travel and turned it over. Rio Rancho trying to move the ball in underneath the basket, And they do, but a bounce pass is taken, and Kaislyn Muniz gets the ball, takes it, and ends up, there's a whistle as she goes out of bounds, but she was fouled. Yep, she was fouled by number 11, Smith. Yeah. That's her second foul, and it's the 9th team foul on Rio Rancho. Rio Rancho has struggled. They're just kind of all over the place. They've been really trying to get the ball back away from the Hobbs girls, and that's up and good. So Muniz has not only 3 trays in this game and a 2-pointer, but now has a point at the line. And because we're in the bonus, that means she is going to get another shot. So we have fresh legs coming in, Cepeda in. And the second up and no good. It's a miss, but Hobbs 38-6 now. 31 seconds left in this second quarter. And the ball across the timeline for Rio Rancho now. Working over to the left, now driving the lane, trying to put up a shot. And are they going to call a block foul on Hobbs? Or are they going to call a charge?
Looks like a block foul.
It's going to be a block foul on Cepeda for Hobbs. That's her second foul, and that's a 15 foul for Hobbs. It's on the floor, so Rio Rancho will inbound. They will inbound from right in front of Taskovich, are they? Yeah.
They are.
The ball's in, and that is Estrada with it. She's just going to drive the lane, try to put it up herself. It's blocked, though. I believe that was Cunningham who blocked it, and it's picked up by Clay. Clay leaves it off for Cunningham. Leaves it off for Bosquez, and Bosquez, Hargrove. I'll get it right. Hargrove drives the lane and puts up the shot. It's up and good, and she draws the foul. So she's got 5 points in the game. And she draws the foul. They call it on Archuleta. That's her first foul. She has not seen many minutes in the game. And the shot is up and good. So Hargrove with another point in the game. I've got her down for 6 points in the game so far. Makes it 41-6, and just 5 seconds left in this second quarter. Rio Rancho with the ball. V-Hill's got it midcourt. She stops. She tries to put it across the timeline, but she travels when she does it. It's a turnover. It happens with half a second left on the clock. So the Hobbs girls will inbound from right in front of the scorer's table and get it into Clay. Clay will put it up, from almost midcourt. It hits the rim and then bounces out. So at halftime, your score here is 41-6. Hobbs girls beating Rio Rancho. And we will be back with your halftime show in just a few minutes right here. You're listening from Tasca Arena, Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 radio, and streaming on HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. Your score at halftime, 41-6. They are firmly in control of this one over Rio Rancho. And, we talked in the pregame a little bit about the fact that Rio Rancho, a 16th seed, you might think that they were just really weak team. They're not so weak. They're 4-4 in their district, and there were 3 teams taken in their district because of the strength of them. And they did get seeded 16th, but they came in here, and Hobbs is just blowing them off the court. So it is a very lopsided game, but we'll take the win anyway. But we can't count the chickens before they hatch because we're at halftime. So it definitely looks like a complete domination by Hobbs, but it's only halftime. Hobbs led 17-0 at the end of the first quarter, but 41-6 now at half. And if they come out and they play the kind of game they played in the first half, it will be no problem. And of course, when they come out, they are exactly 35 points ahead of Rio Rancho, which means a running clock. And that means the game will go by a lot quicker. If the Hobbs Lady Eagles manage to stay 35 points or more ahead of them, then that clock will run and it will be a quick second half. Rio Rancho is going to come out and try to do everything in their power to keep that clock from being a running clock and to try to put more points on the board, if for pride, if nothing else than that. Here is how we got to that 41-6. I'm Don Morgan, by the way, along with Patrick Alexander. And let's talk about your scoring. Not much for Rio Rancho. They've been rebounding, but not scoring very much. 2 points for Smith. 2 points and a rebound for Smith. You've got Lee with 2 points and 2 rebounds. And you've got Espinosa with 2 points and 6 rebounds. And Estrada with 5 rebounds. And let's see, the rest are just fouls. So I've got Rio Rancho down for 14 rebounds in the first half. And only, of course, the 6 points. They turn over the ball. I got it down for 14 turnovers in that first half.
That's what I have.
And 4 for the Hobbs girls in that first half. And Rio Rancho has not been to the free throw line at all. I think they ended up with 9 team fouls on Rio Rancho in the first half, and the Hobbs girls, of course, had only about 4. I think 5. Yeah. Okay, so 9 for Rio Rancho, 5 for the Hobbs girls. Yeah, I wrote down 4. That 5th one came out, and I never wrote that down. All right, so as far as your Hobbs girls go, though, your leading scorer so far in this one is Caitlin Manise with 12 points, and 3 of those were trays, and 1 of those came at the line. So 12 points and a couple of steals for Caitlin Manise, and she's not even a starter. She came off the bench for Hobbs. Yeah, next up in scoring is Brett Clay with 7. She's got 2 rebounds, 2 steals to go with that, and 2 of her points came at the free throw line. Well, next in line is actually Nakaya Mojica. My apologies. Nakaya has 7 points and a steal. So 7 points for Nakaya Mojica, and then 7 points for Brett Clay. And Clay with a couple of rebounds and steals. And Mojica had a steal as well. Also with 6 points, Bryn Hargrove. Bryn with 6 points and a rebound and a steal for her. And Cunningham has been a rebounding beast for Hobbs. She also has 5 points in the game, 1 of them coming at the line, 8 rebounds. So 5 points, 8 rebounds. And then, let's see, Jayla David with 2 points and a rebound. And then you have Armitage with 2 points. And you have Desiree Vasquez with a rebound and a steal. And that's the total of the offensive output for the Hobbs girls. They go to the line. They're 7 of 9 at the line. So doing a good job, not just in their percentage of shots from the field, but also at the line. And they have 15 rebounds in that first half. So the rebounding game is very, very close. 14 for Rio Rancho, 15 for Hobbs. It's just that Rio Rancho, they're rebounding, but their putbacks are not falling. And before they can really get a chance to make another shot, the ball is being taken away by just the quickness and the speed and the aggressive intensity of the Hobbs girls, Patrick.
It is. And, when you look at this game, and I think we talked about pressure, but I don't think that we could have looked at 14 turnovers to 4.
Right.
I mean, my goodness, that's fantastic.
Sure.
The rebounds are even, but you're right. When Rio Rancho comes down with the ball, they're not able to put it back up. Those Hobbs girls are in and out.
Yep.
And it's incredible how quick they play.
And they are. They're quick, they're fast, and they're playing a very clean game, too. So you would think with all of that pressure, all of the stealing, all of the turnovers, the forced turnovers, that they would be, fouling all over the place. They're not. We have seen that this season. It seems like they've gotten cleaner and cleaner and cleaner as they continue to play and win. So their speed, their quickness, the intensity, their press is all over the place. And so far, it's just been too much for Rio Rancho. Give it up for Rio Rancho. The girls are in there. They're trying. They're playing. They're trying different things. They're working the ball around. They're trying to get the ball and work somebody in the low post and get the ball up and in. It's just not working. So here we go. We start the second half, and Hobbs inbounds in front of Taskervich. Vasquez gets it, or actually that is Hargrove gets it over to Clay. Clay tries to put it up and in, won't. A fight for the rebound. Cunningham gets it, and then she is promptly fouled. So Hobbs, again, is going to be at the line. Cunningham is 1 for 2 at the line. She's got 5 points in the game and now 9 rebounds.
And Espinosa's first.
And that is a foul against number 35, Espinosa, and that's her second foul, but it's the first team foul in the second half against Rio Rancho. First is up and no good. That's unusual. Cunningham has been really, really solid, but she'll get another shot at it. Second one is up, and it bounces off as well, and it's Armitage who picks up the ball, as Armitage starting the second half for the Hobbs girls, and then they get it to Cunningham. They pass it in underneath the bucket. On one side was Clay, on the other side Cunningham, and Cunningham just can't hang on to it. So the Hobbs girls, that's only their 5th turnover of the game, first of the second half. So give it to Rio Rancho. 41-6 is your score. Rio Rancho crossing the timeline left side and taken away by Armitage. She steals it, but then moving across the line, she gets blocked, and so they're going to call the foul. The block foul on number 10, Armijo. That's her second foul and second team foul against Rio Rancho in the second half. So Armitage will have the ball and inbound it there at midcourt in front of the scorer's table. Armijo gets it to Mojica. Mojica crosses timeline, center line. Looking to set the O, drifts back to midcourt again. Breaking away is going to be Hargrove on the right. Hargrove gets it. Hargrove looking, works it, top of the arc, thinks about the three, gets it to Armitage in the right corner. She drives the baseline, going to put up a little hook, but it gets taken away, gets stolen, and that is Lee with the ball. She's going to take it around left side, outside the arc, then pull back midcourt. Going to pass it off. So Lee with a steal. Now she passes it off, and there's a travel, I think, and there's timeout. Before she could travel, I think there's a timeout taken by Coach Mabry of Rio Rancho, and I did not see if that was a 30. It is a full minute, so we'll be back in 30 seconds with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. 41-6 your score here in the third quarter, and we'll be back to Tasker Arena with Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio, and streaming it on HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. We're in the third quarter, and out of the timeout taken by Rio Rancho, your Hobbs girls are in control of this one, 41-6 with a running clock. And coming out of the timeout, Hobbs girls will come back on the court. It's Hargrove, Clay, Mojica, Armitage, and Cunningham. And Rio Rancho girls will have the ball out of their timeout. They inbound. A little quick bounce pass in the lane to Estrada. She tries to put it up, then passes it back, and it's stolen away by Hargrove. She kicks out to Armitage in the right corner. She puts up a three. It won't fall, but a push foul is going to be called against Armitage. So Armitage, it was the shot was no good, but she'll go to the line. And they'll call that on number 10. That will they call it on 10? I think they just have it.
Bustillos.
Okay.
Number 12.
On Bustillos, right, 12. 10 was still up. They just hadn't called it yet. And so 10 was the last foul. But Bustillos with her first foul. And Armitage up and no good. She's got a couple of points in the game. And she'll get another try. And it's up and no good. and bounces out. So Armitage at the line off the foul by Bustillos. Third team foul, and that is up and good. So Armitage with 3 points in the game makes it 42-6. Hobbs girls over Rio Rancho. They inbound, get it to Lee. She's still in the backcourt, getting worked on hard. Oh, and there's a collision, a walk, and I thought they were going to call the foul. Yeah, and so did Hargrove.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, thank you, because she turned around and bumped into a player. But right as that was happening, the travel was happening, and Rio Rancho gives it up for the 15th time in this game.
And Muniz will come in for Hobbs.
And Muniz comes in, and Lee goes out for Rio Rancho as well. And I didn't catch who the Rio Rancho girl was coming in. They give it to Muniz. Muniz gets it to, she was passing to Cunningham in the lane in that right block, and it's taken away and then stolen right back by Muniz. She gives it to Cunningham. Cunningham to Muniz in the right corner. Muniz back to Cunningham on the right wing. And then all the way over to Mojica in the left corner. She's got a girl in her face, so she gets it to Cunningham at the top of the arc. Cunningham pops a tray. Wow. And makes it 45-6, her first tray of the game, and 8 points for Cunningham as the whistle sounds. Rio Rancho inbounding, and I believe they're
knocked out of bounds.
It just knocked out of bounds. It stays Rio Rancho, so no harm, no foul for Rio Rancho, for Hobbs anyway, no foul. Rio Rancho's got it, finally across the timeline, and then a pass is intercepted by Clay. Clay picks it up, takes it coast to coast, and lays it up and in from the right side, makes it 47-6. Hobbs girls all over Rio Rancho. 4 minutes left to play in this third quarter, and they're still in the backcourt. Passing it up, finally connecting, and coming up, trying to get it up and in from the right as a Rio Rancho girl. She's going to get blocked, and I think they're going to call Cunningham for the foul. But that's just the first foul on Cunningham, I believe.
It is.
And I think that will be, nope, they're going to call that, yeah, they call it on Cunningham, just her first foul. And that's the first team foul against the Lady Eagles in the second half.
And the first free throw shot by Rio Rancho right there.
Yes, yeah, so we played that whole, we told you in the halftime show that Rio Rancho hadn't been to the line yet. And this girl at the line, again, I can't see the ponytail, I can't see her number. Is that number 5 brought? And the second one is up and good, and she keeps turning around. I can't tell what that number is. Maybe Archuleta, third 23.
Anderson, 13.
Okay, so one good. Oh, and coming down the other way, yeah, a three-pointer. That was Mojica from the left corner, and the pass stolen away again, and then passed off to Mojica, and she makes 2 trays within seconds of each other out of the steal by Clay. That's Clay's second steal of the half. And coming the other way, Rio Rancho just can't hang on to it. Now there's the whistle sounds, and I think they're going to call the foul, maybe on Cunningham again. It's on the floor. Nope, it's going to be on 15 Mojica. That's her first foul, only the second team foul against Hobbs. But Mojica putting on a heck of a show there from that left corner. Oh, yeah, three-point shooting clinic there. Rio Rancho finding some room, trying to get the ball in. Shot is up, no good, and Cunningham with the rebound. And she brings it down, gets it off to the corner to Hargrove, and Hargrove pops the tray from that left corner where Mojica was. Rio Rancho coming in. It's 56-7 now, running clock, and Rio Rancho, I think they're going to call there was a travel. Nope, a timeout again.
Timeout.
Yeah, and it was going to be a travel.
It sure was.
Well, full timeout. It's 56-7, and we will take a 30-second timeout as Rio Rancho wanting to talk about it. And we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball from Tasker Arena. And welcome back to Tasker Arena. I'm Dawn Morgan with Patrick Alexander, and this is a Hobbs beatdown, and it has just been a definite thing. But the Hobbs girls are just taking care of business. This is business as usual for them. There's no attitude. They're just playing. They're playing hard. They're doing well. And Rio Rancho is fighting back and doing what they can, but they are just not effective against Hobbs. But out of the timeout, a Rio Rancho timeout, they do inbound, and then another bad pass over the head is picked up by Manice, and Manice takes it down, going to put it in. It does not go. She ends up on the floor, and there is no whistle. I think they're just going to say it went out of bounds.
No, they did.
Walla. And let's see who they call it on, though, as there was a whistle, and that's number 23, Archuleta. That's her second foul, fourth team foul on Rio Rancho, and it's going to send Manice to the line, and she's got 3 steals in this game, and that layup I think that she was going to make got stolen. Her first is up, no good. It bounces out, but she'll get another try at it, as there are 7 team fouls on Rio Rancho, or 4 team fouls on Rio Rancho in the second half, but she was in the act of shooting. And the second one, she eyes it, skies it. That one's short. The rebound, a fight for it, and finally it is controlled by Rio Rancho, and then popped out by Hargrove into the hands of Cunningham, and the whistle sounds, and let's see, I think they're going to say that Cunningham
stepped on the end line.
She did. So it's a turnover for Hobbs. I've got it just as the 6th turnover for Hobbs in the game, though. So give it to Rio Rancho. They inbound, and it's a bad pass stolen away by Manice. Manice takes it off in the left corner, gives it to Hargrove, and a whistle sounds, and they're going to say that it was Hargrove. It's a turnover again. Hargrove with a travel. And that's kind of unusual. But the ball was moving fast. She was trying to get it and try to move at the same time. And sometimes you just can't coordinate that. Rio Rancho with the ball trying to move it, gets it pushed away by Hargrove. They corral it, save it, I think, from going out of bounds. We'll see. And it does go out. They're going to call that on Cunningham away from the ball. They're going to call Cunningham with a foul, and that's her second. And that's the 3rd team foul on Hobbs. It was away from the action, so on the floor. And now Hargrove takes the ball away, steals it, takes it all the way down, and lays it up and in.
And
one. She gets fouled on the way. That's her 11th point in the game, by the way, for Hargrove. She's got 2 of them trays, and that's going to send her to the line. And she is 1 for 1 at the line tonight. 58-7 is your score, and you've got Jayla Clay going out, Cunningham going out, Manice and Mojica going out with subs coming in. It's running clock now, and it doesn't even stop for the free throws. The free throws at the line, that is Hargrove, up and in, nothing but net. That's her 7th point, 9, 11, 12th point of the game for Hargrove. So give it to Rio Rancho. 25 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. They move it down. That's number 30, Jack. Jack kicks it out to the left side. A shot is up, no good. A 3-pointer, and the rebound by Bosquez, I believe. Was that Bosquez or Bolton? Bosquez, I believe. And they give it off. Get it to Armitage. She runs the point, drives in, and then a pass right in the lane off, and a shot is up, no good, as Bolton tries to put it up and in, and then gets her own rebound. But the end of the quarter sounds, and after 3, it is 59-7 here. Hobbs girls over Rio Rancho. Back in 30 seconds with more Lady Eagle basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming, and on HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Tasker Arena. I'm Dawn Morgan with Patrick Alexander, and after 3 quarters, it is 59-7. Your Hobbs girls all the way, 17-0 at the end of the first, 41-6 at half, and Hobbs managed to keep Rio Rancho to score just 1 point in that 3rd quarter. 59-7. Clock is running. That means they don't even stop for free throws. They're just going to stop for timeouts and injuries. And that means this 4th quarter could go by very, very quickly. And much of the bench is in for the Hobbs girls for this 4th quarter now. Zepeda, Armitage. I'll catch the rest of those in a moment. Rio Rancho inbounding. A bad pass is going to be stolen away by Armitage. That's her second steal of the game. She takes it down, tries to put it in, and it's short, hits the back, and it goes to Rio Rancho. So they've got it, driving down, and so they're going to call Armitage with the foul. Armitage reached out, little push foul. It's on the floor. Only 4 team fouls for Hobbs in this second half, so it's on the floor. Rio Rancho will inbound. And again, a bad pass, but corralled by Rio Rancho. Taken, that is to pay that in with good defense. Rio Rancho drives it, Jack with it, pulls it out. Hobbs wanted to travel on that, didn't get it. The ball is up, no good. Fight for the rebound on the floor. They're going to call a jump ball? Yes, they will call a tie ball. And the arrow is going to go the way. Well, they're going to. Hobbs is going to get it. So let's see. They haven't put the arrow up yet, but they have indicated that Armitage will inbound for Hobbs. So and we haven't. I think that's the first tie ball that we've had as well.
It is.
We haven't had. It's first tie ball, first jump ball. Armitage will inbound just to the right of the Rio Rancho basket. She's looking for somebody. Gets it in. I believe that's Bolton. And she's getting worked on by Lee. Lee to Armitage. Armitage, beautiful pass. Well-timed. Armitage takes it up and in. Oh, no good, but she gets her own rebound. She'll pull back and pass it off. And I believe that is Bosquez. That is Cano with the ball. So Cano to Armitage, back to Cano. She drives the lane and then passes it off to Bosquez. She puts up a shot, won't fall, and I believe it was Bolton with the rebound, her second. So they've kicked it out. Zepeda's got it now near midcourt. Passes off to Bolton in the left wing. Bolton gets it to Bosquez. Bosquez over to Armitage, and Hobbs will reset and try again. Zepeda with it, top of the arc. Gets it over to the right side, Bosquez, and then over in the right corner to Cano. And now Zepeda will pull over into the right corner. And Hobbs working right now. Rio Rancho keeping them out of the paint. And Hobbs just trying to work some good defense by Rio Rancho. And they're going to end up being too good, as I think they're going to call that foul on Rio Rancho. A little hack foul as it's on the floor. So Armitage will inbound. They do call that on number 12, Bustillos. That's her. Nope, they're going to call it on 5, Brought. That's her first. So Armitage inbounds, passes it off, gets it back. Over on the right wing now. Again, working. Hobbs working outside the arc. Zepeda drives in, pulls up top of the arc, and gets it over to Cano in the right wing and to Bolton. Bolton looks for room, gets it back out to Cano. Now to Zepeda. Zepeda over to Cano. Cano's finally going to drive in, and then a nice little pass underneath to Bolton right in there. So Bolton with 2 points and off of the assist from Cano. Give it to Rio Rancho. They bring it down. They've got it on the left in the left corner. Working out. Good defense by Zepeda and Cano. Pass it out. Pass it around. That's now 30. Jack has got it. Top of the arc. Gets it over on the right side. And then a drive into the lane. Shot up and no good. It's on the ground. A fight for it as Lee's down another jump ball. This will go to Rio Rancho as Bolton and Lee were on the ground on the court fighting for it. So Rio Rancho will have it. 61-7 is your score. 4:14 left to play, and now there's a timeout, and that will stop the clock, and it's going to be a full timeout. So we will take a 30-second timeout and be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. They are dominating the Rio Rancho. I'm not even sure. We need a bigger word than dominating. Even 61-7. Back in 30 seconds with more action from Tasker Arena. Welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. I'm Dawn Morgan with Patrick Alexander, and this has been all Hobbs all the way as 61-7 your score. It was 59-7 at the end of the third quarter, and this fourth quarter with running clock has moved so quickly, and it's bench players, total bench players for Hobbs in this now against Rio Rancho. And they inbound the ball, and a shot is up from the left, and it is good. And I cannot see that. It's number 30, Jack. Deja Jack with a tray, and it makes it 61-10. Hobbs over Rio Rancho. 4 minutes left to play in this one, and Hobbs with the ball. There's a pass over to Armitage in the left, and Hobbs managed to get the pass done without being out of bounds. Hobbs is going to end up passing it, and in the lane, the ball hits, I can't know if it's the ball or a player, hits number 52, Kano, in the face. It is a player. The ball was coming in, she got it, and then she caught an elbow in the face, and they're going to call that on number 23, Archuleta. That's her third foul, and the 7th team foul on Rio Rancho in the second half, and that will send Kano to the line. First is up, no good, and then she steals it away as the rebound came out and controlled by Rio Rancho, but stolen, and then just kind of free for all for the ball. It was bumbled and fumbled, and it ends up going out of bounds. There's no foul. It simply goes out of bounds. Last touch by Rio Rancho. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Running clock on this one because of Hobbs' 51-point lead. Hobbs inbounds. Tries to pass around the right side, goes out of bounds. Armitage and Kano over there, and so that'll be a turnover. I only have that as like the 7th turnover for Hobbs in the game.
I'm showing 8.
8, okay. I think there was, and I was about to say, I think there was another one. I didn't write it down, and you're right. So 8 turnovers. Rio Rancho with the ball. A shot's up from the right, no good. Lee gets the rebound, and her putback is no good, and she's going to get fouled. And that was, she was in the act of shooting, so she will go to the line. And
it's going to be on Vasquez.
It will be on Vasquez, and Vasquez, that's her second foul. I've got it written down. Yes, I've got it written down as second foul. That's the 5th team foul on the Lady Eagles in the second half, and Lee will go to the line and shoot 2. First is up and good. So she's got 3 points in the game now. She had 2 points in the first half. Now 3, and she'll get a chance to make it 4. 61-11 is your score. Hobbs leading, 2:37 left on the clock, and they restart that clock now. And a second one was up and good. Lee with 4 points makes it 61-12. And that's Kano with the ball on the right side, gets it to Armitage in the right corner. She works it around, drives in. Oh, it's almost taken away from her. Then she gets it to Cepeda. Cepeda drives in. As she drives the lane, puts up a shot. It goes, and She gets fouled. So we'll count the bucket and the foul on that. Yes, 63. So Cepeda in the books with 2 points, and she'll go to the line. They're going to call that on number 1. That's Vigil. That's her second foul. 8th team foul on Rio Rancho. 63-12 your score, and up and good. So Cepeda with 3 points in the game makes it 64-12. A minute 56 left to play in this game. Hobbs is moving on to the state tournament. They will play Tuesday afternoon. We'll talk about that in the post-game show. Rio Rancho with the ball. They move it down, give it to Lee. She puts up a shot, a little jumper,
nice
and it is a nice shot. Very flat shot, but it goes in. So Lee with 2 more points. She's got 6 in the game. Makes it 64-14. A minute 36 left. Armitage with the ball. She brings it down, crosses timeline, and it goes into the hoop from the left side, gets fouled. So no chance to get the shot off.
Foul's on Jack.
And it's on Jack, Deja Jack. And it's going to be a first foul on her, 9th team foul on Rio Rancho in the second half, and up and good. So Armitage with another point. She has 2, 3, 4 in the game now, 2 of them from the line. She's got a couple of steals and a rebound to go with that. Armitage, one of the bench players coming in, and has seen significant minutes for Hobbs this season. And the second one pops. It looks like it's going to pop out, but drops straight in, and that's another point for Armitage. 66-14. A minute 11 left in this game. Hobbs going to beat Rio Rancho. The ball is brought down. A shot is up, no good. Armitage gets the rebound and then is knocked down to the floor, and they're going to call the push foul. Let's see. It's on the floor. It's away from the action. 52. Oh, actually, they're going to call the foul on Kano. So give it to Rio Rancho. And Lee puts it up, and it's an air ball, goes out of bounds. So it will be Hobbs ball, 41 seconds and counting on the clock. They inbound, get it to Cepeda in the backcourt. She gives it to Armitage. Armitage drives in. 30 seconds left in this game. Hobbs will beat Rio Rancho. They give it to Cepeda. Cepeda kicks it out to Cano. Cano moves in and puts a shot up. It won't fall, but she gets fouled in the process. I think that was Lee who got her on the arm, but let's see who they called it on. No, it's on Archuleta. It's her 4th foul, and it's the 10th team foul on Rio Rancho in this second half, and it's going to put Cano at the line. She has an assist and a rebound in this game, and the first one is up and a miss. 66-14, and the clock stopping for the free throws. I think I may have said earlier that they didn't stop for the free throws, but they stopped. And now the second one up and good. And so Cano in the books with a point. 5 seconds left in this one. Rio Rancho with the ball. And the last shot at the buzzer up, no good. And the rebound is Vasquez. But the game is over, and 67-14 is your final score in this one. The Hobbs girls winning this one, and with it, they are moving on to the quarterfinals of the state tournament in Albuquerque, and they play Tuesday afternoon at 4:45 at the Pit, and we will be back to talk about that. But we'll wrap this game up in just a few minutes, give you your points totals, have everything here at Tasker Arena. Lady Eagle Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio, and streaming in on HobbsAmerica.com. And welcome back to Tasker Arena, where your Hobbs girls have just beaten Rio Rancho 67-14 final score. The Hobbs girls led at the end of first, 17-0 at the end at halftime, 41-6 at the end of the third, 59-7, and at the end of the game, 67-14. Congratulations to Coach Joey Carpenter, the assistant coaches, his staff, and of course the Hobbs Lady Eagles punching their ticket to the state tournament next week. Really quickly, let's go through Rio Rancho as far as scoring. I've got Smith with 2 points, 1 rebound, Anderson with a point. You've got Lee with 6 points, 2 rebounds, and a steal. You've got Jack with 3 points, Espinosa with 4 points, 6 rebounds, Estrada with 5 rebounds, and I believe that's it. And they turn over the ball. I've got him down for 17 turnovers for Rio Rancho. For Hobbs, your leading scorer here tonight is going to be, although it's very close, you have good production for all the girls, and it looks like it's going to be Mojica, 13 points and a steal for her. And then you have 12 points for Kaysla Muniz, and 3 of those were Trey. She's got 4 steals to go with that as well. And you've got 11 points for Bryn Hargrove, a rebound and a steal to go with that. And then you have 9 points for Brett Clay, 4 steals and 2 rebounds to go with that. You've got 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals for Armitage. You've also got 3 points for Cepeda, and 1 of those from the line. Then you've got David with 2 points and a rebound, Bosca's with 3 rebounds and a steal, Bolton with 2 points and 2 rebounds, and Kylie Kano with a point and a rebound as well. It's worth noting that Jayla David played the first half and went out with an injury right before the half, and she did not return and play in the second half. Now, Hobbs did not need her. That's not necessarily an indication that the injury was, a bad one, but she did not produce, in the second half, and it may just be that this again, Hobbs had this game well in hand, and they need all the girls as healthy as they can. Don't want to take any chances, any risks as they move on. So Hobbs ended up with 23 rebounds, and they turn over the ball only 8 times, and they didn't. The only times they went into the line in the second half, they actually missed their free throws in the second half. From the line, I think I have. I don't have anybody.
Armitage scored
Armitage
3, and then Zepeda scored 1.
Okay.
And so did
from
Cano.
From the line. Okay, it was all the substitutes who went to the line, and the only other misses were just from other girls who were in. So we have. Final score 67-14. Hobbs really out rebounding them. When it was all said and done, the rebounds were pretty even by halftime, but in that second half Hobbs pulled away with more rebounds, a lot fewer turnovers than Rio Rancho, and a better percentage at the line. Rio Rancho had committed so many fouls against Hobbs. Hobbs was able to really play clean basketball tonight. They just dominated from the very beginning, no question about it. They held Rio Rancho to just 8 points in the second half, and that really was, most of that came in the fourth quarter. Hobbs bench came in, and no knock against them. It's just that when the bench comes in, the game turns into a slightly different game, different, but Hobbs still able to do a really good job with the girls off the bench to keep them to just scoring, only 7 points in that fourth quarter. So good game, well played. It's a good tune-up, and the Hobbs girls do move on. They are going to play the winner of the Sandia Albuquerque High game at the Pit on Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday the 7th. 4:45 is game time for that. So good luck and safe travels to the team and all the fans who will be going as well. And we will have those games from Albuquerque next week. All of the Lee County teams who move on from these games, all the girls' games tonight, all the boys' games tomorrow for the play-in games, all of the winners from Lee County moving on into the quarterfinals of the state tournament bracket next week. We will have all those games on the radio somewhere on our family of stations for Nowalmark. The Hobbs girls likely will stay on Eagle 100.5, and you'll be able to hear them. If there's any change from that, be sure and look at the posts on our station Facebook pages for KZOR, Kicks 103, Cool 95.7, Eagle 100.5, and KPZA La Seta. The posts on that as well as on the front page at hobbsamerica.com. You'll be able to see who's playing when and be able to know which station, radio station, you'll be able to listen to that. And all of those stations stream, so you'll be able to listen to it on the stream or by radio. We will not be able to video because once we get to the state tournament, nobody has broadcast rights, to be able to video those except for the entity that has the license and the contract for that through the NMAA. So no video next week, but we will have audio, and the games will be on the radio, and we will have those games for you. Good luck again to the Hobbs girls moving on. Really not a surprise in this game in any way, Patrick, probably, and not for me.
No, not at all. And you always worry about that first playoff game coming out flat, possibly. But Hobbs doesn't do that. They don't. They've been here before. They know what to expect, and they come out and do what they're supposed to. Even when you put your backups in, they outscore the starters for Rio Rancho.
Yeah.
So you really, what kind of problem is that, right? Your backups are able to play with the best teams in the state.
Yeah.
So
there you have it, and really good job tonight. Again, there weren't any weaknesses in the Hobbs game tonight.
None,
really,
none.
I mean, you look at everything, and their shooting from the line, was still pretty good, even with a few misses here and there. Rebounding very well, not turning the ball over, just
Fouls,
firing,
not
fouling, playing very
shooting.
very clean. Yeah, the inside shooting was good right there, moving the ball through the lane inside, and then the outside shots. I mean, there were, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3-point shots made by the Hobbs girls tonight. And so that's amazing. There was a three-pointer by Brett Clay. You had 3 3-pointers by Mojica. You had Hargrove with 2 trays. You had, let's see, Muniz with 3. And in fact, Muniz had 3 trays in the game. So really nice shooting, nice work, nice ball movement. Just really a dominating performance by the Hobbs girls in every department. So, and that's the kind of confidence that they need to move forward and to know that they're number 1 ranked 5A team in the state for a reason. Number 1 in girls 5A, and they're going to look to play each game, get a win, and if the Hobbs girls run through, get wins on in the quarterfinals Tuesday, and then move on to play on Thursday, and then that sets up, if the Hobbs girls play for the championship, that game is scheduled for next Saturday at 2 p.m. at the Pit, and the Hobbs girls want to be there and take that state championship, but they got to play them one at a time to get there, and we'll be there with them. So congratulations again to the Hobbs Lady Eagles and head coach Joey Carpenter. I'm Dawn Morgan. Thank you very much, Patrick Alexander.
Absolutely.
And thank you for watching and listening to your Hobbs Lady Eagles from Tasker Arena. We'll sign off. And you've been watching and listening, and thank you very much to Max for producing and directing from the station today. We appreciate you. Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball is brought to you on Hobbs Sports YouTube, Eagle 100.5 FM radio and streaming, and on hobbsamerica.com. Good night, everybody.